Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the ever-changing world of technology? Tech It Out can help make some sense of it all. Breaking down geek speak into street speak, technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman covers consumer technology each week for every listener. Mark tackles the latest news, reviews, and how-tos to help you understand what's hot, what's not, and why.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tech It Out, episode 118. We have a great show planned for you today. In a moment from now, we'll talk with KTLA host Rich DeMuro about his new iPhone book. Learn about a new app that saves you on hotel costs after you've booked your room elsewhere. I'll share my thoughts on last week's Google event that I attended in New York. We'll talk with IBM, we'll chat with a startup called Brunch, and a lot more on today's Tech It Out. All right, let's kick things off. It's the hottest smartphone in the country, for many years running, in fact. But are you getting the most out of it? As the name suggests, 101 iPhone tips and tricks by KTLA TV personality Rich DeMuro has been selling like crazy. And we've got the author with us here right now. Welcome back to the show, Rich.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Mark.
And congratulations on the new book. Speaking of iPhone, it was good to see you at the Apple event last month. Tell us about 101 iPhone tips and tricks. It is a successor to a previous book, right?
Yeah, so I wrote a book last year, 101 handy tech tips for the iPhone, and it was kind of a little success. It was really interesting to see how many people were excited to read the book and to understand the tips that I put in there. I'm on TV on a daily basis, and that means I get a lot of emails from people that are not necessarily tech folks. They're just everyday people that are saying, Rich, how do I do this on my iPhone? How do I do that on my iPhone? And it occurred to me after the, 150th email of the week, oh my gosh, I think I should write a book about putting all these tips and simple things about the iPhone into one place that people can browse through and really get a better understanding of their phone. And so I did that last year. And then, of course, we have new software come out for the iPhone every year, which leads me to this year's book, which is all focused on iOS 13, the new features in there, plus some of the things I also think you should know about the iPhone.
Okay, awesome. And speaking of which, so as a techie, I thought I knew everything there was to know about the iPhone, but I have been reading your book. You really do cover all the bases. Tell us what iPhones it does cover. So I'm assuming iOS 13 is what you said as an operating system, and how the book is organized exactly.
So the book covers iOS 13, which runs on a lot of smartphones, a lot of iPhones, the iPhone 6S and up. Now, the thing that Apple did a couple years ago, which is kind of confusing, is that I call it the fork in the road. You've got iPhones with a home button and you've got iPhones without a home button. Mm-hmm. So I do explain in the book at the beginning, there are some things that are different. Some of the ways that you access things are a little bit different because of the buttons that are available to you on the phone. But that's really the only difference. And that's kind of the beauty of the iPhone and the iOS operating system is that it works across a wide swath of devices. And so pretty much unless you have anything that's not running iOS 13, these tips are not going to work for you. But for the most people out there, it's going to work just fine. Right. The way I organized the book is the first half of the book is all of the new features in iOS 13. And to do that, I kind of sat down with an old iPhone running the iOS 12 software and iOS 13 software. And I literally just went through every single app, every single menu, every single setting to figure out what is different. And I wrote about some of those new features like dark mode, swipe to type, how to stop robocalls in iOS 13, all the new ways to protect your privacy. And then I go into the other features of the iPhone that I think are just little kind of hidden gems that you should know about. Things like how to disable Siri from listening instantly. And by the way, Mark, that's really easy. You just flip your phone over, and as long as your phone is face down, Siri stops listening for that command.
I didn't even know that, and I wrote the book Siri for Dummies a few years ago. That wasn't available back then, but that's pretty cool. Awesome. So is there someone you would say that this book is ideal for? We talked a bit, not that there aren't tech-savvy moms out there, but it does seem to pass the mom test. Is this something like a good stocking stuffer, do you think, for someone who may be getting a new iPhone this holiday season?
Absolutely. So I think even if you have a new iPhone or an old iPhone, or you've been on the iPhone for a while, the overwhelming response I'm getting to this is that, Rich, I've had an iPhone for years and I still found things in your book that I did not know about. And that's really what the book is about. It's about giving you the basics. It's not a handbook to the iPhone. It's not a user's guide. It is the things that I think you should know about. And that is something as simple as how to scan a document on your iPhone. A lot of people just want to scan something into a PDF. I explain how to do that. I explain the basics, like how to turn your iPhone into a magnifying glass, which a lot of people, that kind of inspired the original book because I did that on TV. People seemed to love it. And I said, I thought everyone knew about this. And clearly they didn't. Then there's little things that I think you should know, like how to I call it the free trial hack. So I explain how to basically cancel a free trial, still use the free trial, and then you're free of the burden of worrying about canceling it the day before it's due to charge you on your credit card. And I explain how to do that. But there's a lot of little features in there that even if you've had an iPhone for a long time, you can still sit back and read this and kind of smile going, wow, I never thought to swipe that way on my screen, or I never thought to press a little bit harder on that icon. And there are so many little things that Apple has built into the iPhone that you don't normally see on a daily basis. You pull down, you swipe, you turn your phone over, like I said, and it unlocks different features that are not visible on a daily basis.
Like our brains, we're probably only using about 10% of what our smartphones can do, if that. And I know that stat's not true about our brains, but you know where I'm going.
No, that's exactly it.
We're chatting with Rich DeMuro. He's, of course, KTLA TV personality and the author of 101 iPhone Tips and Tricks. You've rattled off a couple of really neat ones that I know our listeners are now going to want to learn about. But do you have any favorites? Like, hands down, this is the one kind of thing that is going to blow you away.
So many things have changed in iOS 13 that I think people are just going to get a kick out of understanding all the changes. And so, like things like dark mode, which is really cool, how to stop robocalls. I explain that because it's a feature that, and here's the other thing about the book, is that I don't just tell you what the feature is and how to turn it on or off. I kind of give you the understanding of that feature. So with the robocalls, the way that Apple is handling them is great, but it's not necessarily the best solution for everyone. So I kind of explain, like, here's how Apple is doing it, and here's why it may or may not work for you.
So let's cover that one, because that was I write this like tech tip of the day on social media. And yesterday I wrote about the silence unknown callers feature of iOS 13. Is this how you're suggesting to deal with robocallers, where if it's not in your contacts, that phone number goes right to your voicemail?
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing. Apple's also applying a little bit of artificial intelligence to this. So it's not just if the phone number's not in your address book. They're also scanning to see if that phone number has been mentioned in any of the emails that you've received. So let's say I'm getting a new floor installed and I had emailed back and forth with the person installing the floor, and at the bottom of their email is the phone number of the flooring company. Well, if that company calls me, Siri is smart enough to know that that phone number was in an email that I had exchanged with someone. She says, okay, we're going to let this call through because we understand that you've done some sort of interaction with this company, as opposed to a number that's never showed up. The other way is if a number is dialed out from your phone. So let's say you call a restaurant from Yelp and then that restaurant calls you back. Well, that number is not in your contacts, but Siri is smart enough to say, you know what? Rich just called this phone number about an hour ago. I'm going to let this call come through because it seems like someone that he tried to call and now they're calling him back.
That's really smart. I like to see that AI there on the back end. I know also with emails that you read on your iPhone, it can tell you that it has found or detected updated contact information for that person who may be in your contacts. And do you want your iPhone to update that for you because it detected maybe something in the signature of that email, which is super cool. All right, so let's now talk about the book itself. Is it an ebook only like the one that I've been reading? Is it also a paperback like the previous book?
There's two versions available. There is an electronic version on Amazon. You can get that on the Kindle. And a lot of people say to me, Rich, I don't have a Kindle. How do I read that? Well, you can download the Kindle app to any device out there. You can download it to a computer or an iPad, and then you can read the book that way. Now, this year I actually made the book free through something called Kindle Unlimited. So you can sign up for a free trial, or if you already have a subscription, this is kind of Amazon's answer to Netflix. So you can read the book totally for free through that. Even if you sign up for the free trial for 30 days, sometimes they offer 2 months, and you can read the whole thing for free. on the flip side, you can order a paperback, which is just like any other paperback. It will be shipped to your home with that fast Amazon shipping. And to me, this is sort of the preferred way of reading the book because you can have your iPhone in hand, you can have the paperback right next to it, you can read these cool tips and tricks, and you can try them out immediately on your phone. Or, Mark, better yet, if you're the tech-savvy person in your life, read my book for free through Amazon Kindle. And if you think it's great, buy a copy of it for someone for the holidays. I truly believe that this book will help people that have an iPhone understand their device. And you have no idea how many times I jokingly say to people when they email me, it's in the book. And now I can say that because it truly is in the book. And I truly believe that people will be helped with this thing.
Awesome. And how much does the book cost?
So the book is free on Kindle Unlimited. You can read it there. If you buy the ebook, it is $8.97. And if you buy the paperback, it is $18.97. Again, all available through Amazon. And the title is 101 iPhone Tips and Tricks. Unlock the useful, time-saving, and fun features in iOS 13. And look for the one with the blue and black cover because there is the one from last year. This is the updated version that has the fancy, schnazzy new cover.
Congratulations, Rich. Rich DeMuro, KTLA TV personality and author of 101 iPhone Tips and Tricks. All the best. I hope this sells really well over the holidays. Great chatting with you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Tech It Out is powered by ASUS for those in search of incredible. Check out ASUS's laptops, the ZenBooks and VivoBooks at asus.com/US/radio. That's ASUS.com. We'll be right back with more Tech It Out. Stay with us.
Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want. Find the Tech It Out podcast at iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. Scan today's headlines, and it's no secret we've seen devastating wildfires and landslides, hurricanes, and other natural disasters. But technology may play a significant role when it comes to the preparedness of these natural disasters, as well as accelerating relief when they do hit. To learn how, we're joined by Daniel Crook. He's the Chief Technology Officer for IBM Code and Response, as well as Call for Code, which is what we've got him on the line to talk about today. Welcome to the show, Daniel.
Thank you, Mark.
All right. I know you've had a busy day full of interviews about this important topic, so I'll dispense with the small talk. What is Call for Code?
Call for Code is a 5-year, $30 million program with a yearly competition for software developers to create technology solutions to some of the world's most pressing challenges. It was founded by David Clark Cause with IBM as the founding partner and is in partnership with the American Red Cross, United Nations Human Rights Office, and the Linux Foundation, which manages many open source technologies, which are things where anybody can contribute to improve the solutions.
Right. So open source code or software is when multiple parties can help create it and tweak it, right? It's not owned by any one particular sort of organization. It's not proprietary and exclusive.
That's right. And even traditional competitors will often share contributions to a similar open source project so that they can focus on their own particular areas of innovation.
All right, so this is a $30 million 5-year challenge, a global challenge to help with these natural disasters. Is it always that topic every year, or every year there's a different sort of cause that IBM and others rally behind?
So for the first 2 years, 2018 being the first year and just concluding now with the second year in 2019, the focus has been on natural disasters, more broadly last year, but this year we had an additional emphasis on health and well-being of individuals and communities. It may change in the future, but that's what the scope has been.
All right. Thanks for the clarification. So with that in mind, Daniel, who won the 2019 Call for Code Challenge, and what's next for the team?
This year's winner is a team from near Barcelona, from the Catalan region of Spain, and it is comprised of a team of technologists, a developer, a programmer, a data scientist, someone who looks at data, looks for patterns, a project manager, keeping things on track, hitting milestones, as well as 2 team members from the local fire brigade. So there's a firefighter and a nurse, and the 5 of them came together to create a hardware and software solution that can be affixed to a firefighter's uniform and capture environmental information about what that person is exposed to. So the exposure to smoke or other toxins, so that in real time, a incident commander can see what's happening to those firefighters, what they're exposed to, and make immediate decisions on how to maybe pull somebody out of danger. But also that information that's captured on the IBM cloud and shared with the incident commander can also be analyzed over the long term, so that, for example, patterns in exposure for a particular firefighter can be addressed proactively to improve the healthcare outcomes for that person.
And how far out are these kinds of technologies? Are they theoretical still, very prototypical, or is this something that can be deployed like relatively soon?
Yeah, so the Call for Code competition, which happens every year, is the innovation engine. It's where teams come up with the ideas. And what we're really thrilled about with this winning team is they already had their quote-unquote customer embedded on the team, helping them test and influence how it was built. And therefore, that gives it a greater velocity towards being implemented. But the goal for Call for Code ideas like Prometeo is that we give them a support framework to make them sustainable over the long term. And that's done through the IBM Code and Response program. So that includes the award that's given through Call for Code, which is a $200,000 cash prize. It's the recognition for the award itself and the connection to mentorship and other partners that can help them. It's connection to the Linux Foundation, which helps manage open source communities, so making sure people are contributing with the right IP around the software they may be adding to the program.
Just to clarify, sorry, intellectual property, IP, right?
Correct. Yeah, and the Linux Foundation can also help out with some of the marketing and also ensure that everybody participating in the community adheres to a code of conduct, so that there's a level of respect and tolerance given to those who are making a real difference for that project. But the most important part is that the team going forward will also have a team of IBMers, high-performing IBMers that have volunteered into our Corporate Service Corps program to work with the Prometeo team on improving the hardware, improving the software, improving its end user experience, the firefighter in this case, as well as the incident commander, the person managing the firefighters, as well as team building, community building, and awareness. So we hope to accelerate the solution, make sure that it scales not only to do a better job in Spain, but can be something that's transferable, for example, to the Amazon in South America, right, California in North America, or Australia that are facing similar challenges.
Very, very fascinating. We're chatting with Daniel Crook. He's the Chief Technology Officer of IBM Code and Response and the Call for Code program, a 5-year, $30 million global challenge that unites developers to create applications that are powered by open source technology. So several parties can get involved and work on that code, that programming, to tackle some of the world's biggest challenges. And in this case, it's natural disasters, something that we hear all about too often. And where can our listeners go for more information, including those who may want to apply for next year's Call for Code Challenge?
Yeah, so they would go to callforcode.org, and there they'll see details on the program, last year's winners, some highlights. This year's winners, they'll continue to see some highlights of kind of the progress of those solutions. And like you mentioned, they'll learn about the challenge when it's announced next year if they want to take part for a shot at those prizes.
All right, Daniel Crook, thank you so much for your time. I know it's been a long day. Keep up the great work. It's very inspirational. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Mark.
We'll be right back with more Tech It Out.
Want to follow Mark? Google him. Mark with a C and Saltzman with a Z. Breaking down geek speak into street speak. This is Tech It Out. Tech It Out with technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out, everyone. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, we all know there are apps out there to help you find a good deal on your hotel room. But one app called Pruvo says that they'll get the best price on your hotel after you've booked it. Joining us on the line to explain what it is and how it works, we've got Pruvo's Chief Commercial Officer with us, Daron Nadivi. Welcome to the show, Daron.
Thanks, Mark. Great to be on.
All right, so I am intrigued by this concept. Please tell us what Pruvo is all about. That's P as in Peter, R-U-V as in Victor, O, and how it works.
So, Mark, I want you to imagine that you're planning a trip. You go online and you're searching for your ideal hotel for hours. You're searching multiple sites. Maybe you're going on a price comparison site. And once you found the hotel you want, and you booked it, you're pretty sure that you got the best available price, right?
Yep.
Think again. See, what happens is hotel prices tend to change frequently, so frequently that sometimes multiple price drops can occur in the same day. So even if you booked the best available price at the moment you booked your hotel, you didn't necessarily get the best price. And that's exactly what Pruvo is trying to solve. With Pruvo, you go on any website to book your hotel, really any website in any language. The only requirement is that your reservation be a free cancellation reservation. So you book your hotel, you received an email confirmation, you forward the reservation confirmation to Pruvo, and at that moment, we start monitoring your hotel room price on a large amount of sources, and we'll notify you once we find you the exact same room that you booked at a better price. And then all you need to do is rebook the room at a cheaper rate and save money.
All right. So you've obviously got some technology that monitors if the room has dropped in price. You're not actually having people call the hotel.
No.
Right. It's all automated. And then through that system, through those algorithms, you find that the $180 night room in New York, probably a lot more than that, but you get the idea, that has dropped down to $159, that exact same room, not a suite, but the same one that you booked. And so long as you booked it with the ability to cancel the room, then you notify the customer that it has dropped. And do we then have to rebook it ourselves, or do you take care of that as well?
Yes, great question. So Pruvo is an alert service. So we will guide you throughout the entire process. We will show you, usually we find on average 3, when there is a price drop, which occurs 40% of the time, we usually find 3 offers on average. So you can actually choose which offer appeals to you the most. Then we'll guide you to that exact same offer, to the exact same room, your exact same room. You'll rebook it at a cheaper rate. And then we also guide you to cancel your original, more expensive reservation. So the customer is in control throughout the entire process. We don't do any action on behalf of the customer, which is, by the way, on purpose.
Right.
And that's why we're a risk-free service, because we don't do anything on your behalf. We just guide you and alert you throughout the entire process.
So we don't share our credit card information or anything with you?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So then, so long as you're able to cancel it, and I don't know, how long before that stay you're allowed, 24 hours or 12 hours or 2 days, I don't know. But you know that as well, like when you notify the person that it has dropped, then as long as it's within that window, we cancel that room and then we rebook it and we get to save the money.
Exactly. So the standard is 48 hours prior to checking in.
Okay.
It can vary. There are some sites, usually when booking through the hotel, you can get up to 24 hours prior to check in. But we don't standardize it. We take each reservation and the date that appears on that reservation as the last date of free cancellation, that's the last date we track, actually a few hours before. We stop tracking and we remove any offers. So this is why our track record for the past 3.5 years is clean. We have not had any double booking caused due to Pruvo, because everything is automated, and also certain reminders are sent out to remind the customer to cancel the original reservation. And also there's no offers that are sent after the last date of free cancellation.
And you said, Daron, we're speaking, by the way, with Daron Devi from Pruvo. You said 40% of the time a hotel will drop the rate of a room. Is it because there's vacancy and they want to be more attractive on these travel sites?
So this is a great question. A lot of people think that it's actually the hotels themselves that are changing the price. There are quite a few reasons why these price drops occur. Only one of them is actually related directly to the hotel, which is the reason you said when there's vacancies. But the majority of the price drops are due to the fierce competition between the OTAs, or the online travel agencies known as Booking.com, Expedia, Agoda, Hotel.com. And basically what happens is that they will launch certain promotions and coupons based on we also have access to certain discounts for the volume we manage, but they will launch certain promotions where they assume the cost of the promotion as part of their customer acquisition cost. They lower their own earnings and the hotel is not affected. So a lot of times the price drops we find, it's because the actual OTAs are lowering their profit margin.
Okay, I see. And this happens as often as 40% of the time, which is
quite a lot. So the stats are 40% of the time the price drop will occur. By the way, we have noticed certain destinations where it's much more frequent. For example, New York, Las Vegas, Cancun, and Thailand are probably our 4 top destinations where price drops occur close to 60%. The maximum price drop we've seen till today is 72%.
Wow.
And the average price drop is 14%. So you have quite a nice savings amount for really zero risk, zero effort.
And as you said, Daron, it doesn't matter how you book that room. It could be through an app. It could be just by calling the hotel or maybe a national number for, Hilton or Westin or whatever. So as long as you have that free cancellation policy, then what do? You forward the email confirmation to Pruvo, or do you open up the Pruvo app?
Yeah.
Like, how do we get that information to you?
So once you book a hotel, even if you do it over the phone, they will send you some kind of confirmation via email. So that reservation confirmation, we need you to forward via email to save@pruvo.com. And you'll get a notification that your reservation was received. And to that exact email, we'll be sending you the alerts when the price drops.
Wow. Pruvo.com. P as in Peter, RUVO.com. Daron Nadivi, thank you very much for your time. This sounds great. I'm going to give this a shot for sure.
My pleasure, Mark. Thank you for having me on.
When we return, we're going to talk with a startup called Book and Brunch. Stay with us.
Breaking down geek speak into street speak. Check it out. Hosted by Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out, powered by ASUS. ASUS creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life, including its line of award-winning laptops, desktops, monitors, smartphones, tablets, smartwatches, and much more. For those in search of incredible, visit asus.com/US/radio for more info. That's asus.com/US/radio. It's being dubbed the Airbnb for book clubs. Book and Brunch, as the name suggests, fuses book and food experiences for groups of people. And there's a little tech thrown in there for good measure. Joining us to explain what the Book and Brunch website and marketplace is all about, we're joined on the line by creator Daniela Kellaway. Welcome to the show, Daniela.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks for having me.
Well, like a good book you just want to tear into, let's dive right in and talk about Book and Brunch. What is it?
So we say that we're a book and food experiences marketplace. And what that means is that on one side, we have what we call brookie hosts. Our community is called brookies. And the hosts, they host these experiences and they make a little money doing it. And on the other side of the marketplace, we have restaurants, cafes, venues, caterers who want to partner with these hosts to bring in group dining into their space. And then our community, of course, benefits the most because they love that every event is hinged around a book, because books are awesome icebreakers.
They sure are. So at its core, it's a book club, but also includes some bites with the books. Is that right? Some food.
That's right. Yeah. So our sort of unique value proposition is that our platform's preloaded with set menus from venues. So like even for yourself, if you wanted to organize lunch for your family, let's say it's 15 or 20 people, usually you've got to call around. If you want it to be a set menu, they'll send you like a PDF. So our platform makes it super easy, and it's preloaded with all of those set menus, so you can just select a venue that you want to partner with, and in a few clicks, your event can be up. You can organize an event in minutes, literally, which was the idea, making it easy for people to connect over a book and a meal.
All right. So the idea is that a brookie, so someone who's going to host it like myself, wants to arrange a book club, but tied to a meal. So it is hosted at a restaurant somewhere. Even though I'm the host of that experience, it is actually hosted at an establishment that serves the food, not at somebody's place.
Correct. That is how the majority of people use the platform, but we also have a tool that's build your own. And if you wanted to continue to organize in your home or in a community center or anywhere else, you can use the tool for that as well. It's just that when you're ready to go out into the world, that piece is taken care of for you. The event planning piece is really easy. Right.
Got it. Very cool. How did you and your partner, I think her name is Zuzana Dracul, how did you come up with the idea?
Yeah, so a few years back, Zuzana, who's actually also my sister,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's okay. So she was in a kind of a dark place. She was feeling lonely and depressed and was not leaving the house. It got really bad, and so I said, okay, move in with me. I've got kids, so I was like, the kids will distract you and it'll like shake you out of this dark place. But when that didn't work, I said, you have to do something that forces you out of the house. Create a reason to leave. And so her reason to leave was this little book club. She started this book club, and every month the idea was that she would visit a new restaurant and read a different book. And it started with 5 people. I was one of the original 5. And within a year, there was over 1,000 people in the club, and two incredible things happened. Well, that it ballooned to that size. And the second was that it completely transformed her life. So just the simple ritual of reading, meeting, and eating got her out of that depression. And when I saw that transformation as her sister, I just thought, if we can help one other person feel less lonely, feel more connected, and make it easy for them to meet like-minded people in this way, that's the work I want to be doing. And so we built it out. We launched just over a year ago, and now we have members in 40 cities, which is amazing. Been incredible.
That's awesome. And you have some U.S. locations too, I understand.
We do. I would say we're probably there in beta, but it's coming. And we've been really fortunate that a lot of the interest has come inbound. I think there's just something about the combination of books and food people love, and it's resonating with people. And the idea that there's a tool that can help you do it easier, right? So that's how it began.
And with your sister, just going back to that for a moment, you do believe that there are clear benefits of reading every day, right? Has this been proven, or is this more anecdotal?
No, I mean, it's both anecdotal, but it is science-backed, right? So reading for 30 minutes a day increases your life expectancy by 2 years. Reading for 30 minutes a day decreases your stress levels by 68%. 68%. I mean, this is huge. And you don't have to do 30 minutes in one chunk. Mm-hmm. What I say to people is read for 10 minutes in the morning, read for 10 minutes over lunch, and then read for 10 minutes before bed. Boom, you got your 30 minutes. And who doesn't want to live longer? Mm-hmm. And then even for myself, since we've started this marketplace, I've seen huge changes in my life. It also builds up your empathy in really big ways. And then for your brain, the idea that you're reading something, we all do a lot of reading, right? But it's more like scrolling. Reading a fiction book, for instance, you have a very solid beginning, middle, and end. And so that pattern of beginning, middle, and end, it's like weightlifting for your brain. And people don't really realize it. There's so many benefits. Once I started researching, I was like, whoa, this isn't just, hey, it feels good. It is actually good for your mental health and for your physical well-being.
We'll continue chatting with Book and Brunch when we return. I'll also share some thoughts on last week's Google event. We'll be right back.
Follow Mark Saltzman on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Listen to Check It Out whenever you want.
We're chatting with Daniela Kellaway from Book and Brunch that fuses book and food experiences for groups of people. Walk us through the process. So someone's listening right now. They're like, I love this idea. Who doesn't love reading, eating, and getting together with people? So what's the first step? So you said it's a website, not an app, but it's Book in Brunch, BOOK, the letter N, Brunch. Is that what the URL is, the website address?
That's correct. Yeah, .com. There's no membership to join. Anyone can join. You sign up for free. You can browse through a number of experiences if you just want to show up as a guest. If you're interested in hosting, we ask a few questions before you decide to be a host, just about what kind of event you're going to host. And then once you're a host, you scroll through, you see all of our venue partners with their preloaded set menus. You make a request, they say yes, and your event is up. And then people show up. And it is the best way. People have told us it's the best way to meet new people, meet like-minded people, break bread with a stranger and kind of reconnect in real life. And I just want to give a shout out because I know that your show, people listen from all across the country. We're going to be in Edmonton, October 23rd, in Montreal, October 29th, and in Ottawa, October 30th. So if you're in one of those cities, come on down to see us. We have a big event there. Kobo so generously sponsored us, which is amazing. And the e-reader, I'm new to the e-reader and I freaking love it. It changed my life. I can read so much more now that I have the e-reader in various ways. And the best part is that it connects to the local library. So you can do free direct borrowing access through your e-reader, which I didn't know. And all of our events this month, all the proceeds from every event are going to the local library foundations in honor of Canadian Library Month, which is October. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, terrific. And then just finally, how much does it cost for those who want to attend something like this? I know you said there's a small fee.
So our average ticket price is $40. That always includes a meal and some elements of surprise and delight. But we've also had events that were $5 or $15. It really depends on the host. They set their price according to what venue they choose. Events can be public. They can also be private. They can be ticketed or they can be free. So it's open in that sense. But on average, our brookies are spending about $40 to sit down and have a beautiful meal, meet some new people, and discuss a good read.
Awesome. It's always one book per event?
Yes, one book that's discussed, yeah.
Okay, amazing. Daniela, this sounds like a great idea. Congratulations on its success to date. Bookandbrunch.com is where you want to start. Thank you again.
Thanks so much, Mark. Thanks for having me.
For the remaining 3 minutes on this week's Tech It Out, I thought I'd share some thoughts on last week's Made by Google event in New York. It was kind of fun to be there. They had a number of products unveiled. Of course, the big one being the Pixel 4 and the Pixel 4 XL, a new generation of smartphones from Google that have a lot of intelligence to them, as you would expect. They really master that AI, that artificial intelligence for not just the personal assistant, but things like this new radar-based controls, as they call it. When you reach for the phone, it knows you're reaching for the phone, and it will quiet the ringtone, for example, or it'll start launching that camera to unlock your face. It's got interactive wallpaper and other cool things. And in the photography department, it still is amazing. That night sight, so it takes amazing photos at night. There's a new telephoto lens and other bells and whistles. Oh, and as a journalist, I really like this new voice recorder app that will transcribe your voice in real time and translate it into text for you. I think that's awesome. Also for students or business people who, want to put something like that in a boardroom and record everything. Very, very smart stuff. So that's $799 for the Pixel 4 and $899 for the larger Pixel 4 XL. They also had a new Pixelbook Go laptop powered by Chrome. They had the Pixel Buds 2, tiny little wireless earbuds with a built-in personal assistant, 5 hours of battery life, and different colors to choose from. Those were $179. And then finally, the Nest Mini. This is the next generation $49 smart speaker that is louder than before, twice the bass than the last version. When you move your hand towards it, the LED lights light up, so it shows you how to pause or raise the volume or lower the volume of the music you're listening to. And this really cool Nest feature, Nest Aware, for as low as $6 a month, that does some pretty neat things for you. This, for example, your smart speaker can hear if a fire alarm, if a smoke alarm or a carbon monoxide alarm is going off in your home. You're not at home. It can notify you on your smartphone because it's hearing that loud beep. And it can even ask you if you want to call 911 locally where your home is, even though you may be halfway around the world. So a really smart feature. So that's just a small glimpse of what Google unveiled last week in New York at their Made by Google event. I wrote an article for USA Today about that Nest Hub, the mini one, the little guy, going up against the Amazon Echo Dot, I guess. And my colleague Ed Begg, who works at USA Today, wrote a piece about the Pixel 4 phones and some hands-on time there as well. I did a hands-on video and uploaded it to social media as well, so hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for listening to Tech It Out this week, which is powered by Asus. They are the title sponsor on this program. They create technology for today and tomorrow's smart life. Visit asus.com/US/radio for more info on their great products, and ROG, or Republic of Gamer, line of gear as well. Thank you for listening, everyone. We'll catch up with you next time on Tech It Out. Bye-bye for now. Ciao.